Good morning from the southern forests. I'm just making my way down to the Pemberton Cascades, where there are some great little waterfalls on the Lefroy Brook, and I'm doing some landscape photography again this morning. Very excited because it's not often that I get to shoot in such lush greenery like this, because so much of WA is so dry and open. But this little corner of the southwest is absolutely beautiful, and I'm really happy to be back here. Even happier to be heading to another waterfall. Let's go down there, see how we go getting some photographs. So my camera gear for this morning is just the usual Sony a7R5 with the 16 to 35 G lens, and I've also got my Nissi polarizer on this morning, and that's really going to help me in this situation to control the glare on all of these wet rocks and the water surface there. I've just framed up my first shot, and we're shooting at 1/3 of a second, f7.1 and ISO 100. I'm going to do a 2 or 3 shot focus stack here, starting on this rock in the foreground, then I'll shift the focus point towards the back a little bit, and then lastly on that main little waterfall up the back. And I'm also going to have to bracket the shot because the sky is quite bright. So with the focus stack, once I get all the way up the back there, I'll take my last shot, and then I will change the shutter speed to make the sky a little bit darker, and I'll blend those together later in Photoshop. So let's get started with that. Refocus. And then lastly, I'll move it up the back there. Focus. Now what I'll do is get my histogram up on the screen, and with the shutter speed, just going to go a little bit faster, take a shot, a little bit faster again, and take another shot. Now I'll just review that. I can see the sky's a little bit too bright, so I'm going to have to do that one more time, I think. And that should turn out well. So I've just moved upstream a little bit from the first shot, and what I'm trying to do here is just cut out most of this white water at the lower part of this cascade, and I'm just getting a little bit where it's swirling around the rock here, and the framing of the rocks on the edge of the creek sort of leads up to the main waterfall as well. So I'm all set up and about to take some shots of that. So my settings are currently at, I'll go 1/4 of a second, f8 and ISO 100. I'm going to go ahead and focus on this rock in the foreground here, and you'll notice in this shot I'm cutting out the sky completely, so I won't have to do that bracketing. And we'll take a shot here, and then I'm also going to shift the focus point back a little bit, maybe all the way back onto the waterfall up the back there, just so I can make sure the whole thing is nice and sharp from front to back. And that's looking pretty good. I think I'm happy with this shot. While I'm here, I'm going to try the same angle, but in portrait orientation. And now that I've turned the camera around, I've got to readjust the polarizing filter to get rid of all that glare. And we'll see how this turns out as well. I'm all done photographing the little waterfall, and since I'm here, I'm just going to have a quick look around to see if I can find anything else to shoot this morning. It is a beautiful spot with so much greenery, so I'm sure there'll be something around here to photograph. After a short walk downstream, I arrived at this quiet place on the river where I was able to get a couple more photographs. Well, that's definitely my preferred way to start a day, in amongst the forest, photographing some waterfalls. But I'm all done now, so I'm just going to pack up and head out of here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.